Hello, everyone. How are you? I hope you're well. I'm Jeannie. If it's your first time here, welcome. And if you've been around, welcome back. I know some of you have been here with my channel from the very beginning, and somewhere I have I have a log where in the very beginning I was writing down, I said I would write down everybody who followed me, and I was up to like 10 or 12 or 20, and I'm just like, I'm gonna keep this up forever. I couldn't. Anyway, to those first, several hundred and several thousand, I thank you, and I thank you for sticking around. Anyway, today I'm going to do a Friday flip, and I've done this book before, but it's been a while, and it's Where the Sidewalk Ends by Shel Silverstein, or Silverstein. I'm not sure how he actually pronounces it. I think it's Stein. I think. Silverstein? Anyway, that guy. And I thought, who is he? Do I know anything about him? So I thought I'd look it up. Now, listen. If you're anything like me, this is going to come as a huge surprise to you if you didn't know this already. Now, and depending on your age, maybe you will. So I'm just going to get my phone. Okay. Carly's barking. That's our neighbor's dog. Okay. Shel Silverstein, or Silverstein, was born in 1930, and he passed away in 1999. It says he was an iconic American writer, poet, cartoonist, and Grammy-winning songwriter. I was like, songs? What? So, he was renowned for his whimsical pen and ink illustrations and clever, often subversive wordplay. He is best remembered for beloved children's classics like The Giving Tree, Where the Sidewalk Ends, and A Light in the Attic. Okay, so he was born in Chicago, Illinois. He died May 10th, 1999 from a heart attack at age 68. And that was in Key West, Florida. He was drafted into the U.S. Army during the 1950s and served in Japan and Korea, where he worked as a cartoonist for the Pacific Stars and Stripes newspaper. He gained early prominence as a humorous illustrator for Playboy magazine and wrote adult-oriented satirical books like Uncle Shelby's ABZ book. I have never heard of that. Okay, so he is celebrated for blending the sly and the serious, appealing to both children and adults. So he wrote The Giving Tree in 1964, and that's about a lifelong, unconditional relationship between a boy and a tree. I love that. I hate to say it, but I'm a tree hugger. No, I'm proud. I love it. I love trees. I'm a tree hugger. Maybe I'll find a picture of me hugging a tree. He wrote Where the Sidewalk Ends in 1974. He wrote A Light in the Attic in 1981. And he wrote a couple of other things. The Missing Piece in 76. Falling Up in 1996 and the posthumously released Runny Babbitt series. Now, this is what totally surprised me. He was an accomplished Grammy-winning musician. He wrote A Boy Named Sue by that was performed by Johnny Cash. Now, if you're young and you don't know old country, listen to A Boy Named Sue by Johnny Cash. It's one of the greatest, okay? And then he also wrote The Unicorn. That was performed by the Irish Rovers. I loved that song. But yeah, nothing happened to the unicorn. He also wrote, and this is mind-blowing, the cover of the Rolling Stone. On the cover of the Rolling Stone, Rolling Stone. Wanna see my picture on the cover? Wanna buy 5 copies for my mother? Love that song. Anyway, so he wrote that. Let's see. On the cover of the Rolling Stone. On the cover of the Rolling Stone. And, let's see, I don't know this one. I'm Checking Out, sung by Meryl Streep. I'm Checking Out by Meryl Streep. I'm going to quickly look at that. I'm Checking Out by Meryl Streep. Is that from a movie? Yes.
Oh, back then, dark, I'm checking out this Heartbreak Hotel.
Okay.
So it's very different.
So that was for a movie. Okay. So, who knew, right? So I didn't know those things about him. I just thought he wrote children's books that also appealed to adults. So there you have it. So I'm going to just kind of go through and pick out some of these poems and little stories and read them to you. And that will be our Friday flip. I do need my glasses. Who do I think I'm fooling? I'm just gonna pick any one. Okay. Some have illustrations and some do not. If they do, I'll do a split screen and put it here for those who like to look at the pictures. Otherwise, it's just my voice going blah, blah, blah. Okay, here's one called The Garden. Old man Simon planted a diamond, grew hisself a garden the likes of none. Sprouts all growin', comin' up glowin', fruits of jewels all shinin' in the sun. Colors of the rainbow, see the sun and rain grow. Sapphires and rubies on ivory vines, grapes of jade, just ripening in the shade, just ready for the squeezin' into green jade wine. Pure gold there, blowin' in the warm air. Old crow nibblin' on the amethyst seeds. In between the diamonds, old man Simon crawls about, pullin' out platinum weeds. Pink pearl berries all you can carry. Put 'em in a bushel and haul 'em into town. Up in the tree there's opal nuts and gold pears. Hurry, quick, grab a stick and shake some down. Take a silver tater, emerald tomato, fresh plump coral melons hanging in reach. Old man Simon, digging in his diamonds, stops and rests and dreams about one real peach. Okay, this is called Who? Who can kick a football from here out to Afghanistan? I can. Who fought tigers in the street while all the policemen ran and hid? I did. Who will fly and have X-ray eyes and be known as the man no bullet can kill? I will. Who can sit and tell lies all night? I might. You know, sometimes he just has a real quickie, like it's almost an afterthought. Here's one, it's 3 lines. It's called Ridiculous Rose. Her mama said, "Don't eat with your fingers." "Okay," said Ridiculous Rose. So she ate with her toes. I love that. And here is where the book gets its namesake, Where the Sidewalk Ends. There is a place where the sidewalk ends, and before the street begins. And there the grass grows soft and white, and there the sun burns crimson bright, and there the moonbird rests from his flight to cool in the peppermint wind. Let us leave this place where the smoke blows black and the dark street winds and bends, past the pits where the asphalt flowers grow. We shall walk with a walk that is measured and slow, and watch where the chalk-white arrows go to the place where the sidewalk ends. Yes, we'll walk with a walk that is measured and slow, and we'll go where the chalk-white arrows go. For the children they mark, and the children they know, the place where the sidewalk ends. The next one is the snowman, and no illustrations, just so you can see. Okay, snowman. 'Twas the first day of the springtime, and the snowman stood alone as the winter snows were melting and the pine trees seemed to groan. "Oh, you poor, sad, smiling snowman, you'll be melting by and by," said the snowman. "What a pity, for I'd like to see July. Yes, I'd like to see July, and please don't ask me why. But I'd like to, yes, I'd like to. Oh, I'd like to see July." Chirped a robin just arriving. Seasons come and seasons go, and the greatest ice must crumble when it's flowers' time to grow. And as one thing is beginning, so another thing must die. And there's never been a snowman who has ever seen July. No, they've never seen July, no matter how they try. No, they never, ever, never, ever, never see July. But the snowman sniffed his carrot nose and said, "At least I'll try." And he bravely smiled his frosty smile and blinked his coal black eye. And there he stood and faced the sun, a-blazing from the sky. And I really cannot tell you if he ever saw July. Did he ever see July? You can guess as well as I. If he ever, if he never, if he ever saw July. Okay, we'll do, it's called Me Stew. Me Stew. I have nothing to put in my stew, you see, not a bone or a bean or a black-eyed pea. So I'll just climb in the pot to see if I can make a stew out of me. I'll put in some pepper and salt and I'll sit in the bubbling water. I won't scream a bit. I'll sing while I simmer. I'll smile while I'm stewing. I'll taste myself often to see how I'm doing. I'll stir me around with this big wooden spoon and serve myself up at 1:15. So bring out your stew bowls, your gobblers and snackers. Farewell, and I hope you enjoy me with crackers. Oh, goodness. Okay. Here's one, a double-tailed dog. Would you like to buy a dog with a tail at either end? He is quite the strangest dog there is in town, though he's not too good at knowing just exactly where he's going. He is very, very good at sitting down. He doesn't have a place to put a collar, and I'll admit it's rather hard to lead him. And he cannot hear you call, for he has no ears at all. But it doesn't cost a single cent to feed him. He cannot bite, he'll never bark or growl. You just scratch him on his tails, he'll find it pleasing. But you'll have to take him out for twice as many walks, and I'll bet that you can quickly guess the reason. Okay. Okay, Melinda May. Melinda May. Have you heard of tiny Melinda May, who ate a monstrous whale? She thought she could. She said she would. So she started right at the tail. And everyone said, "You're much too small." But that didn't bother Melinda at all. She took little bites and she chewed very slow, just like a good girl should. And in 89 years she ate that whale because she said she would. Look at that. Oh my goodness. Okay, here's a cute one. The Little Blue Engine. The little blue engine looked up at the hill. His light was weak, his whistle was shrill. He was tired and small, and the hill was tall, and his face blushed red as he softly said, "I think I can, I think I can, I think I can. So he started up with a tug and a strain, and he puffed and pulled with might and main. And slowly he climbed, a foot at a time, and his engine coughed as he whispered soft, I think I can, I think I can, I think I can. With a squeak and a creak, and a toot and a sigh, with an extra hope and an extra try, he would not stop. Now he neared the top, and strong and proud he cried out loud, I think I can, I think I can, I think I can. He was almost there when crash, smash, bash, he slid down and smashed into engine hash on the rocks below, which goes to show if the track is tough and the hill is rough, thinking you can just ain't enough. Okay, that's inspiring. Okay. Afraid of the dark. I'm Reginald Clark. I'm afraid of the dark. So I always insist on the light on, and my teddy to hug, and my blanket to rub, and my thumbie to suck or to bite on. And 3 bedtime stories, 2 trips to the toilet, 2 prayers and 5 hugs from my mommy. I'm Reginald Clark. I'm afraid of the dark. So please do not close this book on me. Okay. This is called, looks like a long one. Hungry Mungry. Hungry Mungry. Hungry Mungry sat at supper, took his knife and spoon and fork, ate a bowl of mushroom soup, ate a slice of roasted pork, ate a dozen stewed tomatoes, 27 deviled eggs, 15 shrimps, 9 baked potatoes, 32 fried chicken legs, a shank of lamb, a boiled ham, 2 bowls of grits, some black-eyed peas, 4 chocolate shakes, 8 angel cakes, 9 custard pies with Munster cheese, 10 pots of tea, and after he had eaten all that he was able, he poured some broth on the tablecloth and ate the kitchen table. His parents said, "Oh, Hungry Mungry, stop these silly jokes." Mungry opened up his mouth and gulp, he ate his folks. And then he went and ate his house, all the bricks and wood. And then he ate up all the people in the neighborhood. Up came 20 angry policemen shouting, "Stop and cease." Mungry opened his mouth and gulp, he ate the police. Soldiers came with tanks and guns. Said Mungry, "They can't harm me." He just smiled and licked his lips and ate the U.S. Army. The president sent all his bombers. Mungry still was calm. He put his head back and gulped the planes and gobbled up the bombs. He ate his town and ate the city, ate and ate and ate. And then he said, "I think I'll eat the whole United States." So he ate Chicago first and munched the water tower. And then he chewed on Pittsburgh, but found it rather sour. He ate New York and Tennessee and all of Boston town, then drank the Mississippi River just to wash it down. And when he'd eaten every state, each puppy, boy and girl, He wiped his mouth upon his sleeve and went to eat the world. He ate the Egypt pyramids and every church in Rome, and all the grass in Africa and all the ice in Nome. He ate each hill in green Brazil, and then to make things worse, he decided for dessert he'd eat the universe. He started with the moon and stars, and soon as he was done, he gulped the clouds, he sipped the wind, and gobbled up the sun. Then sitting there in the cold, dark air, he started to nibble his feet, then his legs, then his hips, then his necks, and then his lips, till he sat there just gnashing his teeth, 'cause nothing was nothing, was nothing was nothing, was nothing was nothing, was left to eat. Okay, let's do another. Here's one. It's called Forgotten Language. Once I spoke the language of the flowers. Once I understood each word the caterpillar said. Once I smiled in secret at the gossip of the starlings and shared a conversation with the housefly in my bed. Once I heard and answered all the questions of the crickets and joined the crying of each falling, dying flake of snow. Once I spoke the language of the flowers. How did it go? How did it go? He's quite a poignant writer, and then it's like he turns it around and is quite contrary. The silver fish. While fishing in the blue lagoon, I caught a lovely silver fish, and he spoke to me. "My boy," quoth he, "please set me free, and I'll grant your wish. A kingdom of wisdom, a palace of gold, or all the goodies your fancies can hold." So I said, "Okay," and I threw him free. And he swam away and he laughed at me, whispering my foolish wish into a silent sea. Today I caught that fish again, that lovely silver prince of fishes, and once again he offered me if I would only set him free, and one of a number of wonderful wishes. He was delicious. He ate them. Okay. If the world was crazy. If the world was crazy, you know what I'd eat? A big slice of soup and a whole quart of meat. A lemonade sandwich, and then I might try some roasted ice cream or a bicycle pie. A nice notebook salad, an underwear roast, an omelet of hats, and some crisp cardboard toast. A thick malted milk made from pencils and daisies, and that's what I'd eat if the world was crazy. If the world was crazy, you know what I'd wear? A chocolate suit and a tie of eclair. Some marshmallow earmuffs, some licorice shoes, and I'd read a paper of peppermint news. I'd call the boys Susie, and I'd call the girls Harry. I'd talk through my ears, and I would always carry a paper umbrella for when it grew hazy, to keep in the rain if the world was crazy. If the world was crazy, you know what I'd do? I'd walk on the ocean and swim in my shoe. I'd fly through the ground, I'd skip through the air. I'd run down the bathtub and bathe on the stair. When I met somebody, I'd say, "Goodbye, Joe." And when I was leaving, then I'd say hello. And the greatest of men would be silly and lazy, so I would be king if the world was crazy. And it is a little crazy. Okay, let's do one more. It's called The Bagpipe Who Didn't Say No. It was 9 o'clock at midnight at 3:15 when a turtle met a bagpipe on the shoreside by the sea. And the turtle said, "My dearie, may I sit with you? I'm weary." And the bagpipe didn't say no. Said the turtle to the bagpipe, "I have walked this lonely shore. I have talked to waves and pebbles, but I've never loved before. Will you marry me today, dear? Is it no you're going to say, dear?" But the bagpipe didn't say no. Said the turtle to his darling, "Please excuse me if I stare, but you have the plattest skin, dear, and you have the strangest hair. If I begged you pretty please, love, can I give you just one squeeze, love?" And the bagpipe didn't say no. Said the turtle to the bagpipe, "Ah, you love me, then confess. Let me whisper in your dainty ear and hold you to my chest." And he cuddled her and teased her, and so lovingly he squeezed her, and the bagpipe said, "Auga." Said the turtle to the bagpipe, "Did you honk or bray or neigh? For auga, when you're kissed, is such a heartless thing to say. Is it that I have offended? Is it that our love has ended?" And the bagpipe didn't say no. Said the turtle to the bagpipe, "Shall I leave you, darling wife? Shall I waddle off to Rodham? Shall I crawl out of your life? Shall I move, depart, and go, dear? Oh, I beg you, tell me no, dear." But the bagpipe didn't say no. So the turtle crept off, crying, and he'd never come back no more. And he left the bagpipe lying on that smooth and sandy shore. And some night, when tide is low there, just walk up and say, "Hello there," and politely ask the bagpipe if the story's really so. I assure you, darling children, that the bagpipe won't say no. So there. Where the Sidewalk Ends. And there's so many more, and I'll read from them. I've gotten lots of different recommendations and requests for books to read. But if you're going to make a request, it has to be a book that is in the public domain. I thought my door was closed, but Nick just came in. The public domain. So when you say, "Oh, I love this book, can you read it?" Check, do a search, is it in the public domain? Because if it isn't, and I read it online, I could get a copyright strike because it belongs into somebody else's protected copyright. So I will honor that. I have to honor that. It's the law. So, just if you're going to recommend something, make sure it's in the public domain. Otherwise, it's an automatic no. Okay. I'm going to sign off. I know what's going to happen now. The minute I leave this room, Sputnik, what are you doing? Is going to come here, lie down on my black table cover, and get fur all over, which will then need my lint roller. And so the cycle continues. And by the way, we brush him a lot, and he loves it. He loves to be brushed. Right? Right? He's looking like he might join us. You want to see him? I'll grab him. Come here, handsome boy. Come here. I know. Here, come on up. He's a big boy. We're going to get in trouble the next time we go to the vet. Here, look at this. Because he's gained weight. Okay, come here. Come here. Just say hello. He's about 18 pounds. Okay. Now what? Come on. Here you go. Here you go. Here you go. No, don't rub on there. Good boy. Here you go. Come on. Ow. Come here. Come here. There we go. Okay. No. We'll just go straight to the lint roller. He loves it. Come here. Come here. Lay down. Lay down. Okay. Can you see him? There you go. Oh, he loves this. Oh, he loves this. Yes. Can you hear his purring? I don't have a brush nearby, or I'd brush him. He's a dilly boy. He's a dilly boy. I know, I love you too. I do. Okay, so I'm going to sign off for now. If you haven't checked in a while to see that you're still subscribed, please check those things. You know, those cleanups they do, and purges they do, and updates they do sometimes make you unsubscribed. I've found that with people I follow. So, anyway, check. And if you're new here and haven't subscribed, for more, I'm using my cat as clickbait. Subscribe. Jeannie wants to get to 200,000. I was thinking about that this morning. I'm about 166 something thousand. And I would just love to see that turn over to 200,000. You don't get anything for it. But it would be fun just to see. And here come the yard people. So, we'll sign off. Thank you for being here. And I will see you very soon in the next video. Goodbye for now. He's a good